the cooperation between both sides and also bring the new opportunities for both sides. The two sides signed agreements regarding the MOUs of cooperation in third markets, and also signed the agreement to prevent the taxation issues and be processing beefs and other meats. Processing documents also be signed. Talking about the cooperation in company levels, there are 10 agreements signed with a total volume of 17.6 billion, covering new energy, green, environmental technology, automobile, machinery, and this also create a new record. The Committee of Business Council of both sides established and also conducted its first meeting. I believe this is another new highlight and important platform for both sides on top of the existing environmental platform. I believe this platform will play more and larger roles. Talking about the cooperation between China and Portugal in the recent years, you can see that there are many areas been deepened for both sides, and the two countries also work together to explore the opportunities in the third markets. The trade between two sides this year from January to October reached $5 billion or 8%. So China's export increased by 5.5%, import increased by 12.5%. The two-way investment is keeping increasing, which is also the trade highlights for both sides by the end of October. The projects invested by Portugal is 255, and with total value of 211 million, that covering energy, telecommunication, appliance, water supply, insurance, healthcare, and other areas. The major projects also got a very good social and economic return. The cooperation in third market also achieved good results, which will be the new opportunities and good examples. So that's also had a good opportunity in Brazil, Mozambique, and the third market. Both sides conducted the energy cooperation projects, and we believe this is also will set the solid foundation for the cooperation in the third market. China is welcome and stand ready to continue our cooperation in areas such as infrastructure, trade, investment. We'd like to conduct more bilateral and cooperation in the third market, and also continue to enrich our cooperation as strategic partners.
Hi, I'm Bloomberg News, James Vega. I have two questions. The first one is, the Wall Street Journal reported earlier this week that China's aim at the G20 negotiations or talks is to stop the tariffs, the American tariffs at the current level, so to avoid increase in tariffs, which is planned for next year. Can you confirm that? And also, can you just talk generally about what you think and what you see the Chinese aims are at the negotiations that will happen in Argentina? My second question is, President Trump this week said that the tariffs will probably go ahead, and then USTR Robert Lighthizer said yesterday that they're looking to equalize car tariffs. Do you see these two statements by the U.S. officials as being what Wang Shouwen called a knife to China's throat? He spoke earlier about a month ago, and he said China wouldn't negotiate with a knife to its throat. So do you see these statements by the senior U.S. officials as being a threat to China just before these negotiations with Xi Jinping? Thank you.
您好，美国彭博新闻社，我想问您2个问题。第一个问题呢是在那个上周的《华尔街日报》的报道中呢，说那个中方的此次谈判的目标就是不要再增加新的关税，请问您此消息是否属实？然后您也是否可以评论，就是此次在那个阿根廷即将进行的谈判中，可能中方的立场是什么？第二个问题是关于就是特朗普总统在同样的一篇《华尔街日报》的采访中说，可能会对中国继续征税，如果此次 G20 会谈不能够达成协议的话。然后昨天呢，美国的贸易代表莱特希泽也谈到了说要对中国的汽车关税进行这个平等化的处理，就是可能意味着也有可能会增加关税。那么您是不是认为这个是对中国的一个威胁？您有什么评论？
谢谢你的问题。你提到的这2个问题啊，我觉得都与中美经贸关系和中美经贸磋商相关。
The two questions you mentioned, I believe, that related to the China-US relations and also China-US talks. China overemphasized that the essential part should be win-win cooperation for China-US cooperation. Not long ago, during the phone call between the head of states, they agreed that the China-US economic issues should reach a agreed plan. Right now, the economic team is still under contact to further implement the consensus reached by the leaders. I hope the U.S. can meet China in the halfway to push forward a positive result be achieved this time. Thank you.
谢谢发言人。21世纪经济报道提问。WTO 在最近发布的一份声明中表示 ，G20 国家在今年
Thank you. From 21st Century Economic Results Report. So talk about the G20 countries this year conducted 40 new
规模是之前一个时期的6倍。在这些最新采取的这个贸易限制措施中，3/4都是提高关税，其中很多是对
as a sixfold of the previous measures taken. So the majority of them actually the retaliatory measures against the U.S. What's your take? We have noticed the report released by WTO. China has always believed economic globalization is an irreversible trend. The free trade order and multilateralism should be upheld firmly. Now, although we face the challenge brought by unilateralism and protectionism, but China is stand firm and ready to work with all economies to create an open, inclusive world economy. G20, their GDP takes up 86% of total, and their economic volume is nearly 80% of the global economic volume. As the main platform, we would like to work with G20 members to continue to show our solidarity and to give the constructive and the positive suggestions to forward our development of economic globalization and also inject new impetus to the multilateralism and economic globalization.
发言人你好，第一财经日报记者提问：11月22日，中国、欧盟等及其他相关的国家的世贸组织成员向
From China Business
关于
Network.
争端解决上诉程序改革的联合提案，并计划在12月12日的世贸组织总理事会议上发表联合声明。
including China and the European Union members, they signed a dispute to the WTO dispute settlement mechanism.
中方认为，这个联合声明是否能够在最大范围内代表 WTO 广大成员的意见和看法？
So there is a joint declaration release was different from the previous one, and also that can represent the majority members' consensus. And what's the feedback for now? Thank you. As you mentioned, in order to uphold multilateralism and improve the distribution settlement mechanism, China, European Union, and the other WTO members applied the two proposals. And would like to issue a joint declaration on December 2012. The first proposal regarding the procedures and also give the solutions towards the overarching or the long-arm management of the left members. And the second proposal is regarding the voting system. China and the EU with other WTO members will jointly release a proposal. The aim is to solve the issues and focus paid to the procedures of apply or plead, and also make sure it's a fair and open process. Right now, the joint proposal already supported by China, EU, India, Canada, Norway, New Zealand, Switzerland, Australia, ROK, Iceland, Singapore, Mexico, and other countries, in total 40 countries, and also including the members from developing countries and developed countries. This can represent a majority consensus. The dispute settlement mechanism is represent or a key milestone and the cornerstone of WTO. It can help to solve the disputes in a fast and effective way, and also play a key role to make sure WTO operates in a healthy way. So recently, the certain members become a threat to the appealing system and the procedures, which also brought the institutional risks. China would like to hold hands with other members to conduct positive and constructive discussions, and also initiate the appealing process to safeguard the healthy operation of dispute settlement mechanism, make sure it can run in an effective and fair way. Thank you from China News Agency. What's China's expectation on the upcoming G20, especially in the economic field? The mechanism of G20, with its history of 20 years, is play a key role. 2016 Hangzhou Summit successfully initiated its mechanism from the threat reaction to a long-term constructive mechanism. Right now, the investment is a key pillar of G20 in the economic field. Right now, the challenge and risk faced by the globalization or the whole globe is prominent and bring the uncertainties to all countries. This requires all countries to stand together to solve the challenge. China would like to work with the host country, Argentina, and also the other countries to conduct more cooperation in economic and the trade field to find the new driver and to deepen our cooperation. And we will put the priority on the 2030 Sustainable Development Agenda of the UN and also bring the benefit to the developing countries in order to build an open, inclusive world economy. So we will further support the free trade and multilateralism. China wish all the parties work together to make sure the G20 can reach an effective and a positive result in order to lend the impetus to the open, inclusive world economy and also support multilateralism and economic globalization. Thank you. From CMG, President Xi Jinping paid a state visit to Latin America countries. So could you please introduce more about China and Latin American countries' economic development? Thank you. Latin America is along the route of the maritime 21st century routes. China in the recently expanded its scope and cooperation with Latin American countries, covered in more areas, including trade, investment, contracted projects. In recent years, China right now already become the second largest trading countries, and Latin America also the second investment destinations next to Asia. 2017, China with Latin America reached $258.7 billion in trade volume. So the number of the trade volume increased 20% this year. So by the end of 2017, China's companies, the direct investment in Latin America reached $387 billion, and the contracted projects reached $164 billion. And the revenue earned so far is $200 billion. So the two sides enjoy a high complementary. So we believe we have more opportunities waiting for us to find out. So China really think we have a greater and a beautiful future, and we have all the reasons to believe we will have more opportunities to conduct our cooperation. So under the framework of BRI, we would like to bring our cooperation to a higher level. Thank you.
谢谢发言人。上海证券报记者提问：在第12届中日节能环保综合论坛上，商务部副部长钱克明
Thank you from Shanghai Securities News.
发展战略的对接。
So at the China-Japan green energy meetings, so they mentioned China will conduct the green environment cooperation with Japan. So what's your take? Talk about energy-saving environmental cooperation between China and Japan is the key opportunity and also the field for both sides. We have the high complementary and also great opportunities. To further promote the cooperation in this field for both sides, it's not just bring the benefit to the two countries alone, but it also can solve the environmental issues globally. China would like to work with Japan in the following areas. First, we would like to conduct our policies alignment, so make sure the green always be in the consideration of making policies. Second, we will strengthen our cooperation in new energy, smart city, environmental governance, green buildings. So we would like to conduct more innovative cooperation in these fields. Third, we also would like to encourage the company from both sides to join the connectivity, industrial development, infrastructure construction field of cooperation and also share the benefit with the whole world. Fourth, we would also like to involve the whole society to give the support of our cooperation in terms of capitals. So we would like to give all our support to the related companies, authorities to implement the projects. Hope China and Japan can find our way towards green and also to create a new era of green cooperation, and we will work towards the high quality, sustainable way of our cooperation. Thank you.
谢谢发言人。总台央广经济之声记者提问：在此前的国新办发布会上，商务部外资司负责人表示，将在2019年年底前呢要完成与现行政策不符的法规、规章和规范性文件的清理工作。
By the end of 2019.
这个工作会非常的繁重。那么目前的话，是否启动呢？
So we will look at all the measures and the policies as well as the rules and regulations not really fit in the current scope of rules and regulations. What's going on with the jobs and how that will impact the foreign companies. Thank you. Right now, MOFCOM and with the related ministries to conduct the clearance of documents will work with the relative department to streamline the documents regarding the opening up so that it involves many areas. So everything that's good will let it going on, and that's not really fit in the conduction or the situations. We will stop them. For your second question, China always keep our efforts to improve the assessment of business environment. So the document just released by the WTO, China ranked number 46 in terms of business environment, increased by 32 ranks. Talk about investment environment. There's nothing can stop us to make ourselves better and better. So as long as we have the policies to support and also align the policies domestically and internationally, we will further improve our investment rule-based, policy-based, to create a enable and beneficial environment to the foreign companies and foreign investment. We will give all our support to the legislative works and to push the related policies released in the early date. Thank you. AFP. Is China concerned about U.S. will very soon to initiate the next round of tariff after the negotiation this time? Regarding your questions, actually I already answered. China hope that U.S. can meet China in the halfway to spare no efforts to make sure the leaders' meeting can reach a concrete result. If there is no further questions, that's the end of the presser. Thank you.